Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about what should you get the flute player in your life for the holidays. So I know during the holidays it is a little bit difficult to figure out what you should get for everybody. So let's make it a little bit simpler for the flute player in your life. So the very first thing that I recommend is going to be the flute flag. Of course, you guys have seen my piccolo flag, and I still don't have a flute flag yet, but I'm working on that. I absolutely love this. This is definitely something that I really should just stop waiting to order one for myself for my flute. I absolutely love the one for the piccolo. They are expensive, but they are totally worth the investment. If there's anything on here that you guys take from the whole list, this is going to be it. I also will link them down below, all the different companies that offer them and all the different styles. Because there are a couple of different styles of these. There's the Rowie cleaner, there's the Valentino / Altieri. Altieri just bought out Valentino, so they are kind of transitioning the name over. And Flute Flags, which actually the Flute Flag guy does not make them anymore. I actually just found out recently. So pretty much just the Rowie and the Valentino Altieri ones are going to be the ones that you look for. But they also make Helix wands as well, which I'm actually quite interested in. They almost look like those car wash roller things that, you know, they just they end up hitting your car if you go through the touch car washes. That's kind of what it reminds me of, and I'm actually really curious about trying one of those too, so I will have to get one and get back with you guys on that. But I definitely love this one for the piccolo. I use it all the time to swab it out in between, especially during like concerts or in rehearsal. I use it all the time. Absolutely love it. And second on our list, we are going to talk about a good stand. So this is the Hercules Stand. This is the triple peg stand. So it comes with two flute pegs, or you can even use this for a clarinet too. So you could do a clarinet, flute, and a piccolo. But I use it for two flutes. Works perfectly fine just for that. It does fold down very nicely, so that way you can travel with it, and all of these come off. They just twist right off, so that way you can fold everything down. I have a little bag that I use for mine, and I just put everything in my little bag whenever I'm traveling. Whenever I get to my rehearsal space, I open everything back up, you know, twist this back on, and you're all set. I do also want to mention that they have different ones. So this is going to be your triple peg one. They also make one for alto flutes. And this one is a little bit different than the flute one. Now your alto flute peg does come out as well, but your alto flute peg splines are a little bit different than the flute peg ones. So sadly, you have to use just this one spot for your alto flute. You can't really mix and match them around like you can with the flute and the piccolo pegs. Also, the difference with this one is going to be there's little like buttons that help keep the legs up. So you actually have to push those down to be able to get the leg to move down for traveling. Other than that, this one is slightly larger than our flute one as well. The base is just a little bit larger, but I love them both. I happen to use this at home and then this one for rehearsal, so I just keep this in my rehearsal bag. Just makes it easy. Whenever I'm going to rehearsal, everything's already disassembled, and then I can keep this one at home with my eBay flute on top of it. Third on our list is going to be my spring tool. So I have talked about the spring tool before. I did get this off of Amazon. I believe it was $7, $8, something like that. I will link it down below as well. And just so you guys know, as an FYI, none of my links are sponsored or affiliate links, so you can just go ahead and click on those. I do not get a commission off of any of this. I just want to spread the word. But this one is perfect because it's cheap. It's easy to access from Amazon and you can get it Prime. But I think that this is a really good idea because you just never know whenever a spring might just get dislodged or might come out of its place. And getting in there with this and just being able to pop it right back into place is just perfect. So definitely a good idea and a cheap gift idea for you if you are wanting to get this for one of your flute players. This also works well for other instruments like saxophones, oboes, clarinets. They also have springs, so this is also kind of a multi-use type of a tool. It doesn't just have to be for flutes. Third on my list, we are talking about earplugs. So these earplugs I also got off of Amazon. They were pretty cheap. I want to say they were like $15, something around there. Again, I'll link those down below so you guys have them. They came in a really cute little carrying case. There's 2 sets. I got the blue and the black set. So this set I keep in my little carry case here. Really only one set fits in here. You might be able to squeeze both of them in here, but I have not tried to do that. This is my rehearsal set, so I just put this in their little container here. I actually end up sticking this on my stand for whenever I'm playing piccolo especially. So that way it's just kind of there because I don't need it all the time. I'm not always up in the higher register on the piccolo, but for some songs I am, so I have it handy. These are, I believe, 23 decibels, which doesn't sound like very much. Honestly, I think I should go down a little bit more to like 15 or 10. I end up not putting these all the way in. I kind of have them just kind of like hanging out just a little bit. So that way they are muffling a little bit of the sound. But if I have them all the way in, it's too distorted. It's too much. But I have figured out just kind of how to do it to where they're just kind of sitting in there and giving me enough coverage that it's helping, but not too much to where I can't hear anything. So this is normally how I would kind of use this. It's kind of hanging out just a little bit instead of me like shoving them all the way in because that's just too much. So I have them just kind of hang out a little bit so that way I'm still getting a little bit of noise. Last but not least, number 5, we're going to talk about bore oil. So I personally recommend bore oil for piccolos or any wood type of an instrument. So again, this is kind of not necessarily instrument specific, but any wood instruments. I personally suggest bore oil, especially for people that have peanut allergies or any type of nut allergies. Almond oil is another one that a lot of technicians use and recommend, but again, if you have a nut allergy, stay away from any of those type of oils. You'll want to use bore oil. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to be this brand, but I will link this one down below. It's fairly cheap, and it's actually, this is a 2 fluid ounce bottle, 60 milliliter, and I still have this much left in there. Yeah, I use the crap out of this. I know we're not supposed to really be oiling our instruments very often, and I really try not to, but I do have some other wood instruments that I've torn down, oiled, and taken care of too. This has lasted me a really long time already. I've had this for a while, and I was actually expecting it to be a little bit less. I was thinking more like half. Apparently not. So again, another good thing to make sure that all of your wooden instruments are taken care of and oiled properly. Final FYI, I did also link below Flute Center, Flute World, and I believe the flute specialists all have holiday guides for you if you guys wanted to check those out and just kind of see what they recommend. I wanted you guys to be able to have that just in case you guys wanted it for some extra information and from a different source. But I think that's all that I have for you guys today. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.